Here's a little nugget of truth for you that you can't dance around. Genetically, biologically, anatomically, physically, you are what you are. Gender-wise, if you don't believe me, check your pelvic bone. Pelvic bone, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, the pelvic bone. That will determine if an individual is either a man or a woman. Now, as far as I'm concerned, there's only four. You have a man with a penis, a woman with a vagina, then what you have, or what they used to call hermaphrodites that have both genitalia, and then some people are born without genitals. So the last time I checked, there's only four. So I don't know about this 97 different types of genders and all that stuff. That's all an agenda. The gender agenda, just like the woke agenda, all of it, the transgender agenda. It's just designed to mess up society and divide you guys and do what you're doing, fighting in conflict over each other. So there's no dancing around the medical fact. If you have any questions as to what gender you are, just look at your genitals and that'll tell you. So you have these people that want to identify with things. Hey man, that's cool. I've done a video on it. For example, if you have a bisexual man that identifies as a woman, that's his business. He can identify with whatever he wants because that is his own personal choice. Many people tend to retreat to a sanctuary of illusions when reality is far too painful. What do I mean by that? Well, when your reality is unbearable, you tend to create this alternate identity, this alter ego type thing. And you live in that environment. It's like an escapism, which is cool. Everybody's done it. That's why you go to the movies. That's why you play video games. That's why you read comic books. It's just that simple. And that's a cool thing. It's somebody's right to do that. That's your own personal truth. It is the reality of your own life. And you have every right to identify with whatever makes you happy and keep that identity. But what people don't have the right to do is to take that identity and force it on others as if this is the reality of life itself. And it's not going to work for one reason, because other people's perceptions of what reality is or what it isn't. Your reality is a matter of your perception. That's just an unavoidable fact. It's just a fact. So you seriously need to analyze what I'm saying. Whatever you think that you are doesn't mean that's what you actually are. Because the pelvic bone will tell you, you're either a man or a woman. It doesn't matter your sexual preference. Even though this is hard to believe, you did choose your sexual preference pre-earth incarnation. What do I mean by that? Before your soul incarnated in physical form, you chose all of your characteristics, your traits, physical attributes, your idiosyncrasies, your appearance, your parents, their color, all of it. You chose all of it before you came to earth. But when you were born to this earth, it's not a matter of choice anymore. It's a matter of living those decisions. That's straight truth. That's why homosexuality is an abomination in the eyes of God in their Bible, it's garbage. If you read their Bible, it says homosexuality is an abomination in the eyes of God. Why? Because two men cannot procreate and generate newer generations and create newer generations for this religious, tax-exempt corporations to monopolize and manipulate and use. And two women cannot make a baby. That's why in their Bible, they made sure to go way out of their way to ostracize homosexuals as abominations in the eyes of God. And bisexuals and everybody else that they feel that isn't conducive to the be fruitful and multiply mentality. Or should I say propaganda and agenda? Because that is the truth. This is all an agenda. It's all propaganda. Religion is the world's oldest propaganda because they didn't have technology back then. So therefore, what did they have to utilize at their disposal? The written and the spoken word. And they had to travel around from country to country to disseminate this propaganda known as religion, the Word of God, which is not the Word of God. The King James Version of the Bible was initially published in 1611, revised twice, and redacted over 5,000 times by anonymous authors. And it's continuously being revised. And I say version because there's almost 80 different types of Bibles that they update constantly. There is no Word of God. Every word is the Word of God, but not the Bible. The Bible has nothing to do with anything. But granted, there are some passages in that book of fiction that are very helpful, almost like a self-help book. Some of them are very good. So those authors are very creative at what they wrote. It's a fictitious story. There's no doubt. This is biblical, fictitious characters. Those things never happened. Because if you look at the Bible, it only focuses on one geographic location of the earth, a very small pocket in the Middle East. And it doesn't regard the remainder of the world. So in other words, God was only focusing on what? Maybe 200 square miles of a small pocket in the Middle East. And what about the rest of the world? It's not mentioned in their Bible. They said rain didn't exist only until 100,000 years ago. They say that the earth only existed about 5,000 years ago. So you can clearly see where this is going. You know, the Garden of Eden, all that stuff, Adam and Eve, carnal knowledge, the first sin, it's all nonsense. It's all metaphors for other things, to vilify and defame women. But without woman, there is no man. It's your mother that brought you into this world. That's why these guys from these Middle Eastern countries that force these women to wear burqas and to be subservient to them, it makes me sick, because it's a woman that brought you into this world. Without a woman, there is no man. There's no way around it. You know, men aren't giving birth to themselves. Last time I checked, I didn't give birth to myself and bring myself in here. My mother brought me into this world. And God is the one that's going to take me out.